Sleep tight, little bear. Once there were two bears, Big Bear and Little Bear. Big Bear is the big bear and Little Bear is the little bear. One day Little Bear went out to play when Big Bear was busy. Little Bear climbed up the rocks above the bear cave. There was a place there. Little bear sized or just a bit bigger. I could have my own bear cave in here, thought Little Bear, with a bed and a table and a chair. Little Bear, called Big Bear, looking out of the bear cave. Little Bear, called Big Bear, coming out of the cave. Little Bear, called Big Bear, but he couldn't see Little Bear. I'm up here, Big Bear, called Little Bear. I've made my own cave. Big Bear climbed up the rocks above the bear cave, and Little Bear showed Big Bear his cave. That is my bear chair and my table, and this is my bed, Little Bear said. Oh, it is a good cave, Little Bear. I need lots more things, Little Bear said. Big Bear helped Little Bear carry things up the rocks above the bear cave to his own cave. Little Bear played all day in his cave. Little Bear swept his cave. Little Bear read his book. Little Bear made his bed. Little Bear jumped on his bed. Supper time, Little Bear, called Big Bear. Could I have my supper up here? Little Bear asked. Wow, said Big Bear. Please, Big Bear, Little Bear said. Well, all right, Little Bear, said Big Bear to the Little Bear. And the Little Bear had his supper in his own little cave. Then it was bedtime. Can I sleep up here? Little Bear asked. All right, Little Bear, said Big Bear, and he tucked Little Bear up in bed. Sleep tight, Little Bear, said Big Bear. I'll be in the bear cave if you need me. Big Bear plodded all the way back to the bear cave alone, without Little Bear. Little Bear sat up in bed and looked round. I'm a big bear in a cave of my own, Little Bear told himself. Little Bear looked out of his cave at the moon shining through the dark trees. Big Bear might be lonely without me, thought Little Bear. Little Bear climbed out of bed. I wonder if Big Bear's missing me, Little Bear said to himself. And he went to see Big Bear. You forgot to read me my story, Big Bear, Little Bear said, climbing up on the bear chair. I'll read to you now, said Big Bear. Did you miss me, Big Bear? I missed you a lot, Little Bear. I could stay here tonight so that you won't be lonely, Big Bear. I'd like that a lot, Little Bear. And Big Bear read Little Bear the bear book by the light of the fire. Big Bear sat in the bear chair with his arms around Little Bear till the logs of the fire had burned low. "Sleep tight, Little Bear," whispered Big Bear. But Little Bear was already asleep.